Gani Waringarri. Hello, this is East Kimberley Weekly with Dabvina and Toby Wright. Coming up in this edition, we bring you an update on Kununurra Reimagined, a year-long project for revamping the town centre in Foreshore. The Waringarri Media team returns from the First Nation Media Converge conference held in Darwin, finding out about a new Waringarri Media radio show and podcast called Knowledge at Time.
Hey, you mob, Mitch Torres here.
And Natasha Short.
Which is set to get the Kimberley talking.
Our lifestyle radio show and podcast.
And I'll bring you a preview of EKFL Northern's Division Finals.
But first, a respected Kimberley leader and social entrepreneur is calling for greater community consultation about controversial critical minerals projects planned in the East Kimberley. Taiwan Limited has been granted a license to assess the feasibility of a vanadium titanium project involving Speewah Dome, situated about 100 kilometres south of Wyndham. The Darwin-based company is also looking to develop Australia's first fluoride mine west of Doon Doon Roadhouse. Kim Bridge, the son of former Kimberley WA Member of Parliament Ernie Bridge, is very concerned about the project. Speaking to Waringarri Media, Mr. Bridge says the fluoride mine would threaten the region's acclaimed wild river system.
There's a number of potential mines. One particular one is to do with fluorite, and it could be within a couple of 100 metres, 200 metres of the river, and potentially 3 kilometres alongside the river. But we also hear it might be an open cut mine. So immediately I would be concerned. It fascinates me how there's very little conversation. You know, as much as you can say there's all these returns and all these potential and all these riches for us as a country out of critical minerals, that particular location to me is my cultural Aboriginal side says no.
You can hear that interview in full with Kim Bridge on Knowledge at Time, a new weekly radio program and podcast presented by Mitch Torres and Natasha Short. More on that new show shortly. Now an update on Kununurra Reimagined, which held the second series of Community and Business Forum last week. The Shire of Wyndham East Kimberley is spending the next 12 months consulting with locals to come up with a master plan for the town centre and foreshore. Michelle Toby from the Shire says last week's forums were a great success.
Kununurra Reimagined is all about making our town and foreshore even better, from planning footpaths, shades, seating and buildings to culture, storytelling and public art. We want this to be led by the community, so we're in round 2 of 7 engagement stages that will take place over the next year. Right now we've got a survey asking for feedback on the big ideas from round 1. You can do it online at yourkununurra.com.au or pop into the Shire office or library for a paper survey or to chat about the project.
The Waringarri Media team has returned from a week-long national media conference held in Darwin. Nathalia Imberlong prepared this report.
Thanks, Dab. Yes, I'm here in Darwin with our team for the annual Converge conference, which brings together over 100 media workers from Indigenous radio stations around the country. And what a wonderful week it's been.
The first day was devoted to digital inclusion, with a great discussion and an update on federal government digital inclusion initiatives. This included an update from the First Nations Digital Inclusion Advisory Group. The second day contained many break-up sessions on topics ranging from training, employment, management and digitalisation.
I find the work that you do is incredibly important.
Minister for Indigenous Australians, Melinda McCarthy, made a presentation, as well as keynote speaker, Rhoda Roberts. There were also presentations from several Indigenous media organisations doing deadly things like Broom's Waringarri Media. The big event led up to an awards night to celebrate excellence in Indigenous media.
What a deadly week it's been here in Darwin. It's been very enriching and a great reward for our hard-working Waringarri Media team.
It sure was great. Thanks, Nathalia. As mentioned earlier, Waringarri Media has launched a new radio show and podcast called Knowledge at Time, which is being heard across the Kimberley and around Australia. Knowledge at Time is a half-hour lifestyle program presented by Natasha Short and Broome-based former ABC and SBS journalist and filmmaker Mitch Torres. Mitch has just been in Connemara recording episodes and tells us more about it.
Knowledge at Time is a show which brings together Kimberley people. It will resonate because it's all about human-to-human interaction, yarning, having a cup of tea, and talking about the issues that affect us all here in the Kimberley. Politics, native title, health, recreation, how we're going to move forward as a region. And I think other people around Australia would be interested in it as well. It's timely.
Time to look at local sports. And the East Kimberley Northern Division finals are almost here. Eric Cox Jr. has a preview.
Thanks, Dabvina. I am here at Connemara Town Oval, home of the EKFL Finals, which is in another week, in both women's and men's. The Ord River Magpies, who have won the last 2 titles, are leading the competition along with the high-flying Wyndham Crocs. Connemara Demons are running third, ahead of the Waringarri Eagles. Unfortunately, my Waringarri Crows have struggled this year in 5th position. And some very sad news for the Crows and the Connemara football community this past week with the sudden passing of one of our deadliest teammates, Melly Angus. Melly died unexpectedly while at the Leisure Centre gym last week. There was a special tribute for him at the end of the Crows vs Maggie's game on the weekend. Our condolence to his family. He was a great friend and teammate. Thanks for the memories, Melly. And we need to win our last game this weekend against the Demons to make the finals. So please come out to Connemara Town Oval for this big local derby between the Waringarri Crows and the Connemara Demons. The Crocs play the Magpies at Clary Cassidy Oval, and the Waringarri Eagles have a bye. The top 4 teams start this final series in the following week. I'll be back next week to preview that and tell you how the women's are going.
Thanks, Eric, and that brings to an end our very first East Kimberley Weekly with me, Dabvina Toby Wright. We hope you've enjoyed it. Please share with your family and friends. If you have a story you think we should follow up, please email us at news@waringarrimedia.org.au. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back next week with another edition. Take care, you mob.